days past transfer. I'm going a little stir crazy. I've been on bed rest for 2 days and then 2 days of house arrest, and today I am over it. So I am painting our bathroom. It was like super yellow and now it is like a blue gray with our gorgeous pink tub. Of course, I love the tub. It's super long and you can lay all the way flat in it. So I'm not getting rid of that. I also don't really want to paint it. And we have this crazy pink light fixture. So it's kind of fun. Our little antique house. Today's day 4, like I said. I got a positive test with Maggie on day 5. I took a test this morning just because, and it was negative. So, of course, that kind of put me in this mood of I need to do something to feel good about myself and feel accomplished. And painting, surprisingly, does that for me. So I need to stop taking tests, but guess what? I can't, because I'm addicted to it and I'm obsessed with it. And it's like the only control I have, so I do it. I don't know what's best, or everyone's different, but I feel like taking a test is like I have control. This morning I knew that it was way too early. The logical part of my brain says it's way too early, of course it's negative. But my heart says, but please just be positive. So, and my mom sent me cookies in the mail. She made cookies and I forgot to bring them home with me, and it made me cry when I opened the package. So I am just hormonal all over. I'm having lots of symptoms, but mostly from the medication. So, and you know, all the medication symptoms are the same as pregnancy symptoms. So as frustrating as that is. So I'll see you all tomorrow morning when I take another test, and hopefully has like a little squinter, give me a little bit of hope. I bought a ton of tests. I think I have 18 first response tests, maybe 15 first response tests. And then I have, I think 30 of the little cheapies. So the cheapies are kind of where I'll start, since I hate to waste my expensive ones. All right, thanks for your support, everyone. Bye.
Good morning, it's day 5. Today is Wednesday. I just took my first like real pregnancy test instead of those cheapies. So, the timer's gonna go off soon and we'll see. I finished the bathroom last night. Look how cute it is. I love the gray. I'll just have to put all the stuff back in here. Probably today, before I work. Okay. Moment of truth here. I forgot to turn my flashlight on. Is that horrible? I do see the tiniest line on here, but I can't tell if it's a real line or not. So tiny. Can you see that? It's like the tiniest line. I can see it with my flashlight. Oh, please be a line. I'm gonna dip one of these cheapies. I have no symptoms of pregnancy, of course. I don't really feel pregnant, but you don't really get symptoms until you're much further along. Oh, then I got symptoms of Maggie till I was like 6.5 weeks or something. Okay, we'll dip this one. We'll wait 3 minutes and we'll see. We'll compare them. Okay. Little cheapy. There is the smallest line on this, but these things make you crazy. I have pain on my hands. Okay, I need to be less crazy. But I would feel better if I got even the faintest line because I just am getting so nervous that this is negative. There's definitely a line on this test, but and I read it within the right amount of time. So if a line shows up here on this cheapie, then I'll feel really good. Look how red I am. I think it's the progesterone. No, not the progesterone. The prednisone. Okay, wish us luck. Okay, this one I think is negative. Nothing on it. And this one still has like the faintest line, but I have a bad feeling that it doesn't mean anything. It's kind of like an indent line. And I can really only see it with flashlight. So I'm not going to count this as a line. And this one, there's definitely nothing on this one. Yeah, nothing. So 5 days post-transfer, everything is still negative. Did I say already that when I had Maggie, I got a positive on day 5? And when I had a miscarriage before with my IVF, I had a positive on day 5 as well. So I'm a little bummed about it. And today I have to go back to work, so still early, but I'm gonna see if Tony can see this line on this test. I just don't think it's a line. I think it's like an indent where the line should be. All right. Good morning. It is Thursday, 6 days past transfer. I'm not feeling very hopeful about this. It's not a great feeling. It could still be positive today, and I hope that it is. If it's not positive today, I feel like it didn't work. Now, that's how I feel. The logical part of my brain says it can still be positive up until 9 days past transfer. It's just not very likely, or it's not a strong pregnancy, or whatever. So, today is day 6. It's super early in the morning. It's like 5:05 or something. My timer just went off. Negative.
Where we look? Well, it's still early.
Yeah, but it's definitely negative.
Still.
Good morning. It's day 7 at post-transfer. I think it's Friday. I just did this test. And it's definitely negative. I'm getting very disappointed in this. I think if I didn't have a positive by today, it's very unlikely that I'm going to. Yeah, last night's test, you just can't see it. There's stark white. Nothing's there at all. So I'm super disappointed. I don't know what we're gonna do. You wanna come say hi? Hi. 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 Did mommy kill a deer last night? Yeah. Was that so cool? Yeah. Don't touch. That's mommy's pee-pee. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, those are negative tests. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm still doing all my medication, all my shots. Obviously, I won't stop doing those until I get a negative blood test. Okay, Maggie. Yeah, the problem is all these medications give you horrible pregnancy symptoms. You know, I have all the nausea from the progesterone. I have sore breasts from the estrogen. I have cramping, probably from the progesterone. So I have all those symptoms, and little headaches. Again, also probably from the estrogen. So all those pre-pregnancy symptoms or early pregnancy symptoms are all here, but they're from all of the medication. So it's frustrating. It's super frustrating. Yeah. Okay. Say bye-bye. No. Bye-bye. We're here. Where are we? Are we at the hospital? Did you take your socks and shoes off? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Good morning. Well, it is Sunday, the 10th, 9 days past transfer. Today is the day that they'll do a blood draw to see if I am pregnant or not. As you've seen, I've taken pregnancy tests every day and they are negative. I did not take one this morning. I didn't want to waste one, and at this point, if my blood test is positive, then I guess that means that my HCG is just not in my urine yet. So I'm hoping for that today. Logically, I know that's probably not true, but I have a little bit of hope that it could still be positive. I'm still on all my hormones, all my medications. I've been taking them regularly as I'm supposed to. Yeah, so we just drove an hour and a half to get here. An hour and 20. It was snowing over the pass, over rabbit ears. So, all for a blood draw. Hopefully it's worth a blood draw instead of just a negative test. Huh, Maggie? I love you. I love you. Did you get your blood drawn? Let me see. Yep. How about mommy's? Yep. What color band-aids do we have? Green. All right, they said a couple hours. Bye. Bye. Good. Hello. Hello. Driving home. So, I just got an email that my test results are in. Hello. I had to pull over and look at them because I cannot wait any longer. So when they do a beta
HCG test. If it's above 5, it's considered positive. If it's above 50, my clinic feels like that means it's a strong pregnancy or a possibility of a strong pregnancy. Let's see. It's opening slowly. Okay, they did run progesterone and estradiol, which they weren't supposed to do unless I was pregnant. Which I'm not. My beta test is 1, which is obviously less than 5. So I'm not pregnant, but they did run my estradiol and my progesterone, which only means that I have to pay for blood tests that were unnecessary. It said that very clearly on there. Don't run these tests unless she's pregnant. So that's frustrating. Hey, who's that, Coco Melon? Yeah, Coco Melon. All right, we'll talk to you when we get home. Hello, so sorry for the quick goodbye there. Maggie was melting a little bit. So I just wanted to touch base a little bit with how I'm feeling, what's going on. I don't really know how I'm feeling or what's going on. It gave me a minute to process it. As I said before, I already knew it was going to be negative based off of my tests. I was just like, you know, stupidly hopeful that it would still be in my bloodstream, but obviously it's not. So we're gonna switch gears and figure out what to do next. I'm definitely a planner, like a now what kind of person. So we will have to sit down, Tony and I, and discuss all of our options. Off the top of my head, the biggest problem is money, financially. A retrieval is very expensive, and like I said, we're completely out of eggs, out of embryos. So we have to start over from square one, which would be another egg retrieval. Tony has said multiple times that he cannot do an egg retrieval again. He says, we are never doing that again. That was too hard. It was too physical, too emotional, too everything. And I can't even disagree with that. It really was so taxing. But I feel like I could do it again. I mean, it's been a while, so I feel like it's not as bad. I mean, especially how determined I feel to have another child. I think I could totally do that again. Also, our last egg retrieval, I was 30. I am now 35, so that has a little bit of a stipulation, I guess. I don't even know what to call it. You know, your ovarian reserve goes down the older you get. So the chances of us having as many eggs as before goes down. Also, the quality goes down. One thing we did not do during our IVF is test our embryos, which means they test to make sure they're compatible with life. They test to make sure there's no chromosomal abnormalities. They test to make sure, you know, all that stuff. Well, we chose not to test because we were too young, they said. But obviously our embryos had something going on because out of 4, we only had 1 successful pregnancy. So that kind of tells me that maybe we should test our embryos next time. We were very against testing, so we didn't want to know the gender and all of that stuff. Also, there's a lot of, could you lose embryos when you test? When they test them, they take some cells off of them. They say it's completely safe, but there is a small chance that your embryo either doesn't make it or, I don't know, some of them are uninclusive. I don't really know how that all works, just because we had never done it before. So, I don't know. We're kind of, I don't even know what to really say about it. Like, we don't know what we're gonna do. Like I said, the biggest hurdle right now is finances. We have spent so much money on egg retrievals and transfers. The transfer alone is super expensive. So once you do egg retrieval, then you have to transfer again. So it's just a lot. So, and when we first started this process, we decided we were gonna share because we feel like the average person doesn't really know what all goes into this. People think it's a guarantee. People think, oh, well, of course, when you do an embryo transfer, you'll be pregnant. No problem. Which I have gotten a lot of that already with people that I've told that it hasn't worked. They're like, really? Like, I thought it was supposed to work. Yeah, it is supposed to work. And the amount of money that we pay, it is supposed to work. It just didn't. They gave us a 60% chance of this embryo becoming a live birth. So 60%, I mean, that's a really good number, but it's still 60%. So yeah, we have to talk to the doctor. I'm still waiting to hear back from the doctor to see how I'm supposed to wean off of all this medication. I don't think I can stop abruptly. I think I have to wean slowly, which is good, I guess, but I'm so over the medication, especially now that you know you're not pregnant. The last thing you want to do is continue on medication, especially medication that makes you feel extremely pregnant. You know, I'm bloated, I have small headaches, my breasts are super sore, I have cramping from the progesterone, I'm super nauseous from the progesterone. It's just been not easy. So the sooner I'm off of that, the better. I'm also on prednisone, and I know I have to wean off the prednisone. I just don't know what that will look like. And then my cycle will not start when I'm on all this medication. So then I have to wait for my cycle to start, and that is just a blow to the gut as well. So we're just kind of at a standstill right now. I am trying to be sidetracked. I scheduled family pictures for today. I was hoping they would be announcement pictures. Obviously they're not that, but we're still gonna do them. I think it's something to look forward to. Gives me something to do today, put Maggie down for a nap. I can do my hair and makeup. And of course, you know, doing your hair and makeup makes you feel so much better about life in general. So we're gonna do that. I feel better now that I at least have like a result that is not wishy-washy. Am I pregnant? Am I not? Like, I'm obviously not. I don't know what else to say about it. It's pretty devastating. And sadly, money becomes a huge factor. And I hate that money becomes a huge factor. I just don't think that family planning should have to come down to how much money you have or how much you can get in a loan. Like, do you take a loan out for something like this? I mean, we're talking more than a car, more than a nice car. And then what if that doesn't work? Then you just have this huge, huge personal loan. Another thing I worry about is my job. I love my job. For those of you who don't know, I'm a hairstylist. I love, love, love my job, but it requires a lot of talking, a lot of, you know, a lot of sharing, a lot of, you know, and it's all fine. It's just, people have to give you their perspective. They have to give you their opinion, and they have to compare their own fertility journeys to yours. And that stuff is just exhausting. It's so exhausting. Again, why we started sharing this is people say, oh yeah, like I tried really hard to get pregnant. It took me so long and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, okay, that's your story. I'm so sorry that you went through that. But that's not what I'm going through. That's not my story. My story involves ridiculous amount of hormones that make me crazy. You know, financially draining. So, I mean, last time I wasn't really working when I went through it. I was working very, very minimal. And I was able to work my schedule around all my IVF. And that, I think, is something I'm gonna have to do this time too.
When you do a retrieval, you have to be seen by the fertility clinic every day or every other day for many, many days. They do blood work, they do ultrasounds very, very, very frequently to make sure that all your blood work is the same, all your follicles are growing the same. There's so much to it. And I was so sick. I vomited through the whole thing. I was so sick. So, I don't know. What do you do, quit your job? Like, that's not a solution. So, anyways, sharing is really, 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 really hard. And it's a hard decision. Like, should we continue to share? Should we do this by ourselves? Like, we love the support, but it's also really hard to share. Everything is really hard. I don't mean to complain. Please don't take me as complaining. I just am having a bad day. Let's be honest. And I don't have much patience these days either. And I'm trying really hard to have more patience and more understanding. And people just want to help, and people just want to, I guess it's hard for people just to be supportive without having a solution for you. There is no solution. And we pay these doctors thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of money for them to have their best knowledge. Like, they know what they're doing with us. We're going to take their advice. So that's just my 2 cents. If you know someone going through infertility, just listen. Everyone has a story of, oh, my friend did an IVF and then they got pregnant naturally. Well, that's so great. And I so hope that that happens for us. And you know, next month it might happen for us, just because we're on so many hormones right now. It might help. But it's not a likely situation. They have given us a chance to get pregnant 0.001 every single month. That's the chance we have to get pregnant. So I'm not gonna put all my eggs in that basket. I need to be proactive. We need to do what we can. Yeah, so I'm 5 years older, so I'm not sure what that'll look like. They did do a resting follicle count at the beginning of this cycle, and it was, I think I had 14 follicles, which is fabulous. That would be awesome. And I think when I did the other egg retrieval, I had 18 resting follicles. So, I mean, I think that'd be okay. It all depends on if they come back normal. Now, another problem that we are going to come across is morally, it's really hard for us to create many, many embryos and then not use them. We really want to create embryos with the intent of using them. We want to create life with the intent of bringing them earthside. So this time around, we had 4 embryos. We thought, okay, if we have 4 kids, great. And then as it dwindled down, okay, if we have 2 kids, great. Well, at this point in our lives, we, again, 35, 2 kids would be fabulous. So what happens if we create 4 more embryos? Like, what do you do with those other 3 embryos if one works? This is a serious situation. They have you create a will for these children. They have you have a plan of attack, what you're gonna do with them. And the options are not fabulous. The options include donating them to science, terminating them, donating them to another family, which you have to have 3 of them to donate, and they have to be genetically tested. And the 4th one is freeze them till the end of time. And we chose to freeze them till the end of time. 59 years is how long they freeze embryos right now, which is amazing. But yeah, and the CCS testing, the genetic testing, is also very expensive. Again, thousands and thousands of dollars. So there's just so many factors to this. It's not just an easy decision. And we have a perfect child. Like, Maggie is obviously like the, we're so blessed to have her. So it's kind of like, maybe we just have one. Maybe she's just our one and only. Which that'd be hard for me. But anyways, the more we go through this, the more you realize that she really is our miracle baby. So if she's our only one, I'll be grateful. So we have a lot to sit down. We have to talk to our doctor.
I'm waiting for a phone call from them now. They haven't called me back to tell me what to do and how to do all that stuff. So I'll hear from them. We have a meeting with our financial advisor next week to see if we even have any financial options, if any of our financial options make any sense. Yeah. So thanks for watching. So sorry this is like the most depressing video. I hope that we don't have many of these depressing videos, but this one was rough, so rough. I will say that I didn't expect it to fail. I fully prepared myself for a miscarriage. We've had many miscarriages, and we've had one with IVF, so I kind of prepared for at least it to stick and maybe not stick around, or maybe it, you know, the HCG would drop. But for it to fail completely, that was just like not a thought in my head. So it has been just so hard that this hasn't worked. Another thing, they test, the way that they grade embryos, I don't really know how to explain it fully, but they grade them based on like how many days it took them to get to a blastocyst, which is usually 5, 6, 7. This was a day 6, so it was 1 day later than day 5, which 5 is ideal. And then it was a 4, which 5 is also best, so it was a day 5 for BB, I believe. So, and Maggie was a day 5 for BB. So it's just 1 day different, same grading. So out of the 4, this was our weakest embryo. Now, that doesn't mean that much to me or to anybody else. I mean, I had day 5 embryos that I miscarried. So it doesn't mean that much, but it does mean that this is our lowest grade embryo. So that's why the chances were lower that it was gonna work. But also not horrible. I mean, it just didn't work. It failed. It didn't even implant, didn't even stick at all. My HCG is at 1, which is not even existent. That's probably what most people live at. It's not a big deal as far as HCG goes. So I don't know why I keep getting off on random tangents, but there's just so many levels to all of this stuff and why it didn't work, and we'll never know why it didn't work. And the answer I'm guaranteed that my doctor will give me is it was not compatible with life. And there's nothing I did wrong, nothing I could have done to prevent this. That's just the reality of it. So I am going to try to not be devastated by this and try to stay somewhat even keel here. The last few days have been horrible. I have been a disaster. So now that I have a final answer, I just need to concentrate on what are we doing next? Are we having more children, or are we just gonna have Maggie? Yeah, so that's where we're at. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. I appreciate everybody who's reached out to me to support me. Some people have reached out like, oh my God, I'm going through this too. Thank you for sharing. So I think we'll continue to share. We're kind of undecided about that right now as well. So if you have input, let me know. Not input about my treatment, because that does not help me, but input otherwise I'll take. Love you all. Thank you all for watching. Bye.